All right, so today we're going to jump into something really fascinating, a whole new way to think about AI and, believe it or not, the human mind itself. It's this wild theory that suggests AI, well, it might just be the one tool that could finally put an end to bullshit. Seriously, let's get into it. So we've got to start with the big question, the one that's on everybody's mind, right? Will AI completely destroy Google? I mean, it's a huge debate. You hear these experts saying AI is a frontal attack on the tech giants. The thinking goes, hey, if an AI can write code, what's to stop me from just making my own Google? But is it really that simple? Okay, so this is where the whole argument kind of falls apart. The big misunderstanding is seeing Google as just software, something an AI could spit out. But it's not even close. Google is a gigantic ecosystem. We're talking about global infrastructure. We're talking about trillions with a T of data points from all of us. Sure, you could probably get an AI to code a YouTube clone, but can you ask it to magically produce the billions of users and the worldwide network of servers that actually make YouTube, well, YouTube? No way. And you know what? The market seems to totally agree. Just look at that stock performance. That's not just a little blip on the radar, that's a massive vote of confidence from investors. They understand that Google's real defense, its moat, as they call it, it's not the code. It's the insane amount of data it has through things like Android and Chrome and all the hardware that runs it. Look, being able to write some text is one thing, but orchestrating a global system that billions of people use every single day, that's a whole different ballgame. All right, so that's the business side of things. But this whole discussion actually leads us to a much, much deeper question. I mean, when we see an AI creating a beautiful piece of art or writing a poem, it's easy to think, wow, that's real intelligence. But what's actually going on under the hood? And here's the absolute core of it. AI isn't inventing anything new. What it's really doing is something called a stochastic simulation. Now, that sounds complicated, but all it really means is it's a probability game. It's just an incredibly sophisticated pattern matcher. It looks at all the data we've ever created and masterfully reassembles the pieces, these tokens, based on what's statistically most likely to come next. It's always working within the average of human creativity, never truly outside of it. Okay, think about it like this. An AI today could probably imitate every single style of music that has ever existed perfectly. But could it have invented jazz or rock and roll? Absolutely not. Why? Because those things were statistical outliers. They were brand new, born from pure human intuition, raw emotion, massive cultural shifts. See, real innovation breaks the pattern. AI just gets really, really good at perfecting the patterns that already exist. Okay, so if AI is just a super fancy remix machine, why is everyone saying it's so revolutionary? Well, this is where we get to the heart of this whole idea. The theory is that AI doesn't just change how we work. It actually shines a light on a different way that some human minds already operate. So, what does that mean? Well, for most of us, our thinking is pretty linear, right? It's serial. We go from point A to point B to point C. But what this theory suggests is that there's another mode of thinking out there, tokenizing thinking. And this is like a high-performance engine for the brain. It's where you're not just thinking step by step. You're processing all these dense, nonlinear bits of information, we'll call them tokens, from all over the place. History, tech, politics, and you're doing it all at once, in parallel. And a person who thinks like this, we're calling them a tokenizing thinker. Their brain is basically working like an AI's transformer architecture. It's constantly calculating the relevance and connection between every single piece of information it has, all at the same time. And this process is so incredibly fast that their mouth literally can't keep up. It's why they might stumble over their words, not because they're confused, but because their internal processor is just running way ahead of their ability to translate it all into simple, linear speech. And this is why AI is such a massive breakthrough. Because for these tokenizing thinkers, AI is literally the first tool in all of human history that operates on their frequency. It's like finding a partner who speaks your language. It's a cognitive echo. So check out how this works in practice. The thinker just throws this storm of interconnected ideas at the AI. To you or me, it might just sound like a confusing jumble. But the AI doesn't care about perfect grammar or sentence structure. It sees the underlying connections, the meaning vectors between all those ideas. And then it acts like a kind of decompression chamber. It takes that chaotic, parallel process storm of thought and translates it, laying it all out as a clear, step-by-step explanation that anybody can follow.
And you can imagine the psychological impact of this is just profound. Think about it. So many of these deep, complex thinkers go through life feeling this intense intellectual isolation, right? Because almost nobody can follow their train of thought. For the first time ever, AI gives them a partner that can actually keep up, a partner that can mirror the insane breadth and even the ambiguity of their mind without just getting totally lost.
Okay, so this is all great for those hypercomplex thinkers, but what does it mean for the rest of us? Well, this is where things get really, really interesting for everybody. By completely changing how complex ideas get communicated, AI could fundamentally reshape our entire society. It could be the thing that finally brings us to a future where what you say matters more than how you say it, where substance finally beats style. Just picture this for a second. Imagine a future where we all have AI tools that act like real-time truth goggles. You're watching a politician's speech, and your AI is flagging all the zero-value tokens. You know, the fluff, the empty promises, the rhetoric that sounds good but means nothing. At the same time, it's detecting emotional manipulation and pointing out logical contradictions right as they happen. This could give every single one of us a powerful shield against manipulation and groupthink.
So, let's think about the ultimate outcome here. In a world where AI can make anyone sound articulate, eloquent, and persuasive, well, being a smooth talker just doesn't mean anything anymore. That fancy packaging becomes a cheap commodity that anyone can have. So what's left? What's the only thing that can set you apart? The actual substance of your ideas. The new currency isn't how well you can spin a story, it's what you actually have to say. And all of this leaves us with one last, really important question to chew on. If AI can perfectly remix and present everything we already know, and if it can even translate the thoughts of our most brilliant minds, what's left for the rest of us? In a world that's about to be flooded with perfect AI copies, what makes you uniquely human? What's the source of that next great pattern-breaking idea?